The biggest mistake families make when they move to San Diego is that they pick the house first and then the neighborhood second. If you're moving to San Diego with kids, you're probably searching Zillow right now and realizing that every neighborhood looks pretty good online. But what you don't know is exactly the best neighborhoods for kids. I've been helping families buy homes in San Diego County for well over 15 years, and there are 5 neighborhoods that really stand out that I would put my own family. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly which ones they are and give you a rough estimate of what they cost in 2026. And the honest downside of each one as well, because the last thing you want to do is to move to San Diego and realize you picked the wrong school district and the wrong vibe for your family. I'm Tristan Campanella. I'm a local real estate agent here in North County, San Diego. I moved here 25 years ago from the Bay Area with my 3 kids, and I've been helping families do the same for a long time. And look, I'm going to give you an honest version. Not the everything is amazing list version, because that's not very helpful when you're moving with kids. The stakes are high when you have children and you want them to have great schools and be able to have great friends in the neighborhood as well. Commute and families on your street and whether your kids can actually ride the bikes around are super important as well. So here's how I filtered the list. 3 criteria. The schools have to be good, not decent, but good. I'm using greatschools.com ratings and parent reviews, not just test scores. Number 2, the price has to make sense for families. I'm not putting La Jolla on this list because if you have a $3 million budget, just call me and we're going to talk. This list is for people looking to spend around $950 up to maybe $2 million. And these 3 neighborhoods actually have kids in it. There are beautiful areas in San Diego where the median age is over 55 and there's not a lot of kids. That's not what you want if you're moving here with a 7-year-old. So the first neighborhood is Carmel Valley. All right, let's get into this one, Carmel Valley. And if budget is not your biggest concern, this is probably the top of the list. Carmel Valley sits right at the northern edge of the city of San Diego, about 15 minutes south of Del Mar Beach. The schools here are top rated, some of the best in the county, and this is why people move to Carmel Valley Middle School, Torrey Pines High School. These are 9 and 10 rated schools on the greatschools.com website. And that's not terribly common in all of San. Most of our county is anywhere between, I'd say a 6, 7, 8. And as of the day I'm making this video, a single family home in Carmel Valley is gonna run you about $1.5 million. Townhomes and attached homes, they're gonna start around $950. So if you are really set on getting into this area, that's a great place to start. But here's the downside to Carmel Valley. It's a master planned community, which means although it's clean, safe, and well maintained, it can feel a little sterile. It's also a little bit older, and that can also turn some people off. The neighborhoods are beautiful, but they all look the same. The commute is great if you're driving into Sorrento Valley, but if you're going to San Diego, it's gonna be 30 to 50 minutes during rush hour. You're gonna be off the 56, which is not your friend. So Carmel Valley is perfect for people that are in tech, biotech, going to Sorrento Valley, and families. Neighborhood 2, Carlsbad. Love Carlsbad. I make a lot of videos about Carlsbad, and this is one that makes the list for a reason. It's one of the cities in North County where you can get coastal access and good schools. Now it's very neighborhood dependent, so you're gonna need to do a little bit of research, maybe watch some other videos that I have. Each area is a little bit different in Carlsbad. Some are sitting right on the coast and some are a little bit more inland. The vibe here is going to be more relaxed and walkable in downtown. There's a village with the restaurants and the coffee shops and the beach. It's definitely a little bit more relaxed than Carmel Valley. If you are moving here from out of the area and you want to feel like you live in San Diego, Carlsbad is going to be an area I think you should look at. The schools here go to Carlsbad Unified, which is consistently rated well across the board. You're looking between a 7 and a 9, and you have a lot of parent involvement here. It's not Carmel Valley numbers, but it is solid across the whole district. A single family home in Carlsbad right now runs about $1.25 million all the way up, I would say, to about at least $2 million. depending on how close you are to the water and how large the house is. If you're looking to go inland a little bit, you could get in the $1 million range, and condos can go anywhere from $750 for a 2-bedroom up to $900 for a 3-bedroom. The downside of Carlsbad is it's very spread out. It's not one tight neighborhood unless you're looking neighborhood specific or zip code specific. Some areas feel very suburban and very disconnected from that walkable village feel. So the specific location within Carlsbad matters a lot. The closer you get to the coast, the more you're gonna pay and probably the less space you're gonna have. That's just how it works here. So who's Carlsbad for? Families who want lifestyle and livability alongside with good schools. If you want your kids growing up near the beach, and if you wanna maybe walk to dinner, that's Carlsbad Village. And if you want a community feel, Carlsbad is top of the list. Neighborhood 3, Encinitas. Okay, I've lived in Encinitas and Carlsbad both. Actually, I've lived in lots of these cities. And honestly, if I'm being real, this is one people fall in love with the fastest. People love Encinitas. It is that typical beach town charm, North County at its best. You got Moonlight Beach, you got the surf culture, you got the farmer's market, you got Lucadia, which is a little funky with the eclectic restaurants and trees lining the streets. It feels just more unique than a planned community. And that's why people love it. The schools here go into the San Diego Union High School District. This is a pretty big deal because you get to choose your high school. If you don't like the one that you're living in, you can choose a different one. So that's a big deal for a lot of people. We have San Diego Academy, La Costa Canyon, we have Canyon Crest. You could even switch over to Torrey Pines, I believe. Okay? These are great schools and strong arts and athletics programs. A single family home in Encinitas is going to run you a little bit more than Carlsbad. I would say minimum 1.5, more close to 2 million. Closer to the beach, you're gonna push the top of the range. If you're willing to go inland, just east of El Camino Real, still in Encinitas, you can find some homes for 1.2, but they're not going to be remodeled. It is not cheap, but what you're getting holds its value extremely well. You're getting lifestyle, lifestyle, lifestyle. Price is one of the biggest problems with Encinitas. It's not a place that stretches your budget very well. So if you're pushing the top of the range, you may find yourself in a smaller home or starting off in a townhome or a condo. The other thing, it's gotten really busy there. So there's a lot of people who move there. The traffic, it can be pretty intense near the coast. Beaches are really busy there. So that's another negative. Okay, who should live in Encinitas? People who want lifestyle, surf lifestyle, beach lifestyle, and are comfortable at the top of this price point. If coastal living and genuine coolness factors are non-negotiables, Encinitas is your city. Quick pause. If you're watching this and you're actually planning a move to San Diego, I put together a free North County relocation guide that breaks down every city with real home prices and an overview of what each city holds for you. The link is in the description, and if you want to run your specific situation by me, maybe talk about your budget, your commute, your kids' ages, shoot me a text. People do this all the time. The number's also in the descriptions below. I do this every day. Okay, neighborhood number 4, San Marcos. This is where my kids went to high school. This is one that gets overlooked when people are looking at Encinitas or Carlsbad or Carmel Valley. And I don't always understand why, although it's getting way more popular now. San Marcos sits inland a little bit between Vista, Carlsbad, and then not quite as far inland as Escondido. So it is not coastal. I think that's something that turns people off. It does have Cal State San Marcos, and it is building. So many houses, and it's newer. There's tons to do here. If you want a really big suburban feel, this and like lots of families, this is going to be a great place for you to live. We have different areas, so again, you got to check it out because some have Mello-Roos, okay? The schools here are about 8, 9s. They're not as high as Carmel Valley, but they're really good. Again, my kids went to high school here, and they're all doing pretty well. A single family home in San Marcos right now can start at $900 and generally is more closer to about 1.1. You're getting a little bit bigger home. You're definitely going to get a real yard, and the home will generally be a little bit newer. Plus, you're gonna have tons of families on the neighborhood streets with you, okay? So what's the downside? It's inland, so you're gonna get a little warmer weather than the coast. I would say 5 to 8 degrees hotter than in the summer. And San Marcos doesn't have any walkable energy, not really. They're trying to build it, but not really. There's no like central San Marcos area. It's definitely more car dependent, and the city is growing fast, which is good long-term value, but some areas are still under construction and don't have that fully established feel yet. So who is San Marcos for? Families who want a little bit more space, want to spend a little bit less money or get more bang for their bucks, and don't need to be walking distance to the beach. It's like a 20-minute car ride, maybe less. If you're working from home or commuting or going to Carlsbad, this is one of the smartest buys in the county right now. Okay, our final neighborhood today, number 5, 4S Ranch. Okay, 4S Ranch. This one I put the most families in, other than San Marcos, and here's why. 4S Ranch is a master plan community right next to Rancho Bernardo, really close to Poway. And master plan can turn off some people, but actually if you have small kids, it's pretty great because most of the homes in 4S Ranch really facilitate a community feel. They're built around the pools, they're built around getting outside and parks and getting to know your neighbors. It's a much newer community. The schools feed into Del Norte High School, which is a 9 out of a 10. It's in the Poway School District, so it's a very desirable school district. You're gonna see kids everywhere, on the trails, on the parks, riding their scooters and their e-bikes. The density of families here is higher than pretty much anywhere else I work. A single family home in 4S Ranch right now, I think it starts about 1.2 and townhomes start around $950. It's not the cheapest on the list, and you also have to think about Mello-Roos. If you don't know what Mello-Roos is, make sure you're watching this other video that I made here. It's a big deal with your property taxes. Now I have to be real with you. It's inland, it's about 25 minutes from the beach, and like San Marcos, it gets warm. Even a little warmer than San Marcos sometimes, up to 8, maybe 10 degrees hotter than the coast in the summer. So you're thinking maybe it could hit the 90s, okay? But we have no humidity, so it's really not that high. 4S has that special tax, that Mello-Roos that we use when the communities are built, and that funds the infrastructure. So all of the parks, all of the pools, all of the everything, like the streets, everything, it goes to paying for that. But it does increase your monthly cost. Depending on the home, you could be looking at $200, $400, $600 a month on top of your regular property taxes. So when you're running your numbers, make sure you're asking about the Mello-Roos. I always pull the Mello-Roos for my buyers when they're interested in a home, so this is not a surprise. And most of the homes in 4S Ranch carry an HOA, anywhere between $150 to $300. It really does pay for the pool. You'll get to use a lot of cool things here. Okay, cheat sheet. Let me give you a very quick cheat sheet before I go, because I know that was a lot of information. Okay, Carmel Valley, prices. I would say at least 1.5 million to start. Schools rated 9 to 10. Sorrento Valley commute, 10 minutes. Pretty high family density. Carlsbad, that's a little bit less, about 1.1. And depending on the location, the schools are rated 7 to 9. Coastal, walkable, surf lifestyle. Encinitas, you're still looking at about 1.5, top rated school district, but you're much closer to the coast. Very cool surf vibe. San Marcos, more bang for your buck here, starting at about 1.1 million. Schools are about an 8, more space for the money, a little bit inland, best value on this list. 4S Ranch, bring about 1.2 to start. Schools are rated a 9. It's about 25 minutes from the beach. Lots of kids there. But you got to factor in the Mello-Roos and the HOA before you run your budget. It's great if your budget can allow that. So if you want a coastal lifestyle with a real town feel, definitely got to look at Carlsbad and Encinitas, especially if beach living is non-negotiable. That's definitely where you want to be. If you want the most kids, make sure that you are over in 4S Ranch. And if you want the best schools, Carmel Valley is where you need to be. So those are the 5 neighborhoods I put my clients and I would put my family in if I was moving to San Diego with kids today. Of course, there's other great areas in the county, Poway, Oceanside, and Vista, and I've done a lot of videos on these too, but these 5 hit the most boxes for families. The biggest mistake I see when families are making a move here is that they pick the house first or they look online and they're just not really sure exactly where to go. You definitely need to narrow down the vibe and how you want to live, and then how important all of those things are: schools, where you live, commute, how many kids are in the family before you choose the final area. When you're ready to help figure out which exactly one fits your specific situation, your budget, your commute, your kids, shoot me a text. The link is in the description, and I'm going to give you an honest answer, even if it's not what you want to hear. I hope to see you guys on the next video. Remember to like and subscribe, and please drop a comment. I'd love to hear what you have to say.